the wedding or the funeral?
Thank y'all for being here today. I know you, Senator, we walked in and met several of our members here today. We have our state president, John Travis, is sitting a couple rows behind you. We have some other past presidents of our local and state association here in the room. I guess pretty much everybody else here is a member of our board of directors on state and local level. So we just kind of wanted to point out who we had here today. And at this point, I'll go ahead and begin with our check presentation. I'd like to take this opportunity as our HBAM's National Bill PAC trustee to present a campaign contribution to Senator Cindy Hyde-Smith. She was appointed to the United States Senate by Governor Phil Bryant this past March in order to fill Thad Cochran's position. She is a candidate for the seat in the special election being held November 6th. She is a lifelong conservative, demonstrated by her strong voting record as a state senator and leadership as Mississippi's Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce since 2012. Senator Hyde-Smith is a strong supporter of President Trump and has co-chaired the Trump Agriculture Policy Advisory Council during the presidential campaign. She also continues to work closely with the Trump administration. Senator Hyde-Smith, the National Association is made up of our local and state member companies that work in the construction industry. Our National Association understands and wants to work with members of Congress when issues are brought up that affect the construction industry. You will have some of us here that will be in Washington periodically representing the construction industry, and we hope that when you're faced with challenges and opportunities that affect our industry, that you'll call on our members to give you real feedback on those issues. Our association is at your disposal to work together with challenges you may face, and we also recently mentioned that we have a few of our national directors here today. Billy Ray, that you've met, he's in the back. John Travis behind you there. John Michael Rainey, back row, red shirt, and myself will be available to you when you're elected to the Senate. Get you to come forward here for you to please accept this check from the National Association of Home Builders. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
A few words to our group.
I will be glad to address the group. First of all, thank you very, very much. The mother's milk of politics is in this envelope that we have to get out and campaign and raise money, but it is a special day today to be here with you. And first of all, thank you again for the endorsement and the confidence and the support. That means more than you'll ever know. And we just announced this morning that President Trump will be here Friday, and he's flying in. I'll probably fly down with him on Friday to Mississippi, and we're going to do an event, and then we're going to do a rally at the State Coliseum, which of course is near and dear to my heart. So it is a special day. You know, you have to keep things quiet for a long time, and you just are about to burst at the seams, and then all of a sudden you get to tell it. But you know, I'm one of those that I never saw myself as your U.S. Senator. As he stated, the governor appointed me, and he had called me well in advance of that, wanted me to be thinking about this, and I was so happy as the Commissioner of Agriculture and Commerce. You know, I just felt like I was in my wheelhouse and was really, really happy there, but God had a different plan. And we just celebrated 5 months this week that I've been in D.C. Unbelievable how fast that went. But things are going very well there. Huge adjustment for a girl from Lincoln County. And you know, we get on that airplane and we fly up there every week, and we come home every weekend, and I tell them I live in Brookhaven, Mississippi, but have the honor to work in Washington, D.C. And I cannot stress that enough. This is an opportunity of 3 lifetimes. And the governor tells everybody she's the only one that didn't ask for the job. But I am so glad that I responded to him eventually and told him that I would be honored to serve as your U.S. Senator. And when I tell you good things are happening, they really are happening. this week has been so busy with Judge Kavanaugh, but how important it is for a president to nominate a Supreme Court justice. Now, we have had hecklers at every corner. I haven't gotten on the train to go into the Capitol and the tunnel at all without somebody yelling and screaming, and just part of the process that we go through, because this is an important process. And I am honored to tell you that I have met with Judge Kavanaugh. He's been to my office. The president invited me to the White House when he was going to announce Judge Kavanaugh that night, and he and the First Lady came out and they told us why they had, he had chosen him. And when I tell you, Stellar, if you have watched any of the hearings, you know that for yourself. The guy has an impeccable record. He knows exactly what his job is, and he knows what his job isn't. I could not be more impressed with this young man, with Coach K, as we refer to him as on occasion. But, just the corporate tax rate going from 35% to 21%, what it has done for this country, what it has done for businesses, for industry. I love traveling the state and listening to these stories. When Bob Dunlap at Dunlap Tires in Batesville, Mississippi told me, he said, Cindy, I've given every one of my employees a pay raise. He said, I bought more land and we're expanding. In Meadville, Mississippi, little bitty Bank of Franklin, when Brad Jones said, I gave everybody a $1,000 bonus that they took home. Americans understand that. They relate to that. They know when their paycheck is a little bigger than what it was last year because of these tax cuts. We've just got to make them permanent. We've got to keep them there. And we've got to continue on this conservative journey that we've been on. And, we work every day toward that. I serve on the Appropriations Committee. I serve on the Ag Committee, helping with the Farm Bill. And I have a little announcement later today about a position that I've just been appointed to this morning by the leadership. And I serve on the Rules Committee and a lot of subcommittees. We have meetings every day. And when I tell you this is a J-O-B, this is a J-O-B. And, it takes a lot of stamina. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of research, of reading, to stay up on things, to make sure that, Cindy's the best that she can be when she walks into those committee meetings. And, we've already passed so many bills in an early period of time that we really didn't expect to do. And I really think we're going to get the Farm Bill out, the earliest that we've had it out in years and years. We're already going to conference. It came out of the Senate. The House has a version. We're going to conference on that to work out those details. But things are happening and they're positive. I'm not saying that it's easy. I had a little incident yesterday when I was trying to get to the airport that didn't expect, because there's some people out there that have other ideas that they're brittle. They really are. So, you just take careful steps. You just weigh everything and you make sure in advance that you've thought things through, and just to get to that next step, but to be planning and working on that next step in advance, not to be caught flat-footed on so many issues. Many people, as I am, and as I know you are concerned about the tariffs. You're concerned about trade and where that is leading. And, there's a lot of folks out there that are very nervous, and you have every reason to be until we get to the point of smooth sailing, because it is rough turbulence right now. You can't argue with him. He has delivered so many things for us. He's done what he said he's going to do, and he's very unconventional, as we all know that. And, that's a word that I use a lot. He is a very unconventional president. And he looked at me and he said, Cindy, I'm tired of the American people, the ranchers, the farmers, the folks that get out there and work every day, being ripped off by these other countries. He said, with trade deals that made no sense whatsoever. And he said, I know you're concerned, and because, I know what the price of, take soybeans were in May, and I know what they are today. You bet we're concerned. But he said, let us get through this rough turbulence. He said it's going better than we ever thought it would go. And of course, we know what happened with Mexico last week. Hopefully the same things, and he can continue on leading us down a positive path. He said, but when we get on the other side of this, people are going to be able to make a living on a fair playing field, and we're going to have deals that make sense, and they don't just benefit one country, and that country not being the United States. So that's kind of where we are there, and he is plugging away. The man is just a machine. And, you know, he comes every once in a while, he eats lunch with us, and I've said he can go all day long on a bowl of fruit and a Diet Coke. I can't go all day long on a bowl of fruit and a Diet Coke. I bet you can't either. This guy is so driven and has so many good people in place. You know, when you look at the appointments, and I can't pick favorites, but I do have a few favorites that I love to meet with and I love to engage with. And he surrounded himself with some really good people. We know we're looking for people because we have the jobs. We have jobs looking for people now. And one of the things that I'm really concentrating on is to make sure we have a prepared workforce, because we know what the job openings are. We know what the skill that is needed out there now, but we've got to make sure we're developing programs, avenues that people can get those skills, that want to work, and get out there and put that together to have a plan. Because, you know, it's great that we have openings, and it's great that we're going in the direction we are, but we need to prepare our folks for that workforce. And that's the fun stuff. It really is, to go and, you know, to see the things that are happening and say, okay, this is the plan down the road, this is what our vision is, and help us get there. That's the fun stuff that I really enjoy doing, because I'm telling you, I'm there for two reasons. That is economic development for jobs and less government. You know, we know we have to have regulations and things in place for many reasons, but that's the reason that I will be on the ballot November the 6th, is for jobs and less government. I can assure you that, because this is a challenge, and you know, we've got a major challenge. There's 60 days left. Tomorrow there'll be 59 days left, and not that anybody's counting, but we're ready for this thing to be over and to concentrate on what we were sent there to do. And you know, I tell people all the time, Mike Pence put this pen on me. This is the U.S. Senate pen. The Vice President of the United States swore me in, and he put this pen on me. But I want you to know today, as I tell everybody, this will get you in any door in Washington, D.C., but this isn't mine. This is your pen. I am there for you. This is not all about Cindy Hyde-Smith. I want to work there for you. I want to be the best that I can be for you. I want to be that ear. I cannot help you unless you let me know what the issues are that face your industry. You have to let me know what those are before I can help you. But I'm there to work. I'm not a show pony. I am a workhorse. Anybody that knows me will tell you that. But I want to be that workhorse for you when we get together and you let me know what your issues are. And my standard question is, how can I help you the most? So that's all I have to say. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for coming out this morning, because it is a pretty day, and I know we've had a lot of rain. And I say you could be out there doing a whole lot, and you can do it on today, a day you can't do it. But thanks for coming out here today and supporting me. I so appreciate you.